Welcome! E aí, galera, beleza? Bem-vindo à nossa comunidade.
Welcome to our community.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is OGC here. Welcome to today's video. If you guys watched yesterday's video, you probably noticed that we were missing one of the most important people's Clash of Fates replays, and that person would be Mr. Toby. So today, instead of going over his PvP replays by ourselves, I figured, you know what? The community wants an interview with Mr. Toby, so we're going to give the community exactly what they want, a one-on-one interview with Mr. Toby, hashtag Toby Nation, who has so much traction. It's unreal. So we'll be able to talk to Toby and ask him about PvP. We're going to learn about his dragon, why his dragon is good, and we'll see what else comes up. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Toby.
Hello, my man OGC.
And how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. It's been a long day, but back from work, and I was on a vacation, so I just reported back on duty today. And it's a fresh year, it's a fresh day, all good. And I'm really flattered that you invited me twice. Thank you, and I'm here to answer whatever you have to ask.
Awesome. Well, anytime you want to chat, I will gladly do so. And I think the last video where people voted, I think you were number one, and closely followed is Super Bob. So we'll also catch up with Super Bob at some point in time. And on the screen right now, I have the karma from the last Clash of Fate with Mr. Toby in number one, where he belongs as always. So I think this is an outsider looking in. I'm going to pull up some of your Clash replays while we talk. I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed with you, with your creativity with the game, it has to be your current dragon. Could you walk us through the skills, why you even decided to try this out, and tell us about it?
All right. Dragons are usually when I start a dragon, I rename it to a project because it's really a project, and it's such a nightmare to make a good dragon. And now I worked so hard to make an Onyx, but I keep replacing the hero pred. You hit all the 7 right skills, and then you just want the perfect one, right? Because what's the point of having 3, 4? Like average dragons, you just gotta have one perfect one. So I keep rolling the 8th skill, and it keep replacing the hero pred. And I reached a point where I really got frustrated because I lost all my dragmas, and I started to spend dinaris to change skills, and that's the point where you know that something is like it needs to stop. So if you can see my Onyx Dragon, it doesn't have any predation, but it has all the right skills. So I still use it. It's good for like Colosseum or Garrison Wall. I still use it for events or stuff like this. But when I started, I had a legendary green dragon with hero pred and what was it? The Call of the Wild, the heal, and fortitude. Anyway, but it doesn't have the three damage skills. So I started to use this in the tower because with the Onyx, I started losing. They target the Onyx Dragon, and it's just not working for me. So I started to use the sub dragon that I have, which is the legendary green dragon, and it was performing good. I was surprised, it was keeping my troops alive, my troops doing the work instead of the dragon. And then I had this idea, what if I have, all the right skills with like the healing and the damage together? But then I started to count the skills, and it seems to be a harder project than the Onyx one because you have to hit all the right skills. You cannot even fit the scale. It's just like all these 8 skills, you need them. So I was like, what if I can do that? And surprisingly, I tried on only like 3 green dragons. and it just happened. It wasn't a lot of trial. It just happened. Like this dragon just was. He wanted to have. And when I started trying it more, because I had like a previous similar experience with the one I just explained, it was doing good. Because the thing is, even though it's doing all the healing, uh, it's adding more damage to the fight. Because the previous dragon was just healing and not doing any damage. This one started to do more damage, just contribution into the fight. And people got confused when I faced them in the dual tower. They don't know if they should target the dragon. They know it's a protection dragon, so if they target it, is it gonna work? The only race that is good at killing dragons that I faced is the Lich, because the Lich, they do the magic damage with I don't know the range of the warlocks or something. I don't know, but they're good at hitting the dragon, killing. So when I started facing the Lich, I placed the dragon back, and they seems to struggle to kill the dragon, because if they use the targets on the dragon right away, it's out of their range. And if they wait, he will use aeroblast and push them away, and then I can control them with like Rufio or earthquake or something. So they don't manage to kill the dragon, and then I with the healing, I just let the troop do the work. Now my dragon is exactly what I wanted to do, but what is missing is the to max the destruction draconic, so it can really show the potential of the damage of the dragon. Roxy. So I'm just waiting. I'm like short by 40 something, 40 points. I'm not gonna rush it, no need. I'm just gonna wait, because I have a fixed budget for the game, that I don't try to go, all out. I just try to maintain it, balance my life with the game. So I'm just gonna wait. It's probably gonna take a couple of months. I know I'm answering this question with a very long answer, but I just wanna cover all the areas. So yeah, I'm just waiting to max this dragon, draconic. I tried destruction with protection without affliction. It didn't do as well, because the troops started collapsing way faster. I tried affliction with destruction without protection. It still didn't work that well. So I think the best bet is to keep protection affliction for now, and not try to get too greedy, and just wait till my troops are still doing the work. If I wait until destruction is maxed, and then you will see the full potential, because this specific dragon benefits from all the three draconics. It has crowd control, it has a lot of healing, and it has the damage. So yeah.
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. Where every aspect of the dragonic buffs, your dragon can take full advantage of, and that's genius, because there's not just one tree where you're getting it just to benefit one little tiny thing. Each one has significant impact.
Yeah, that was the idea. And I cannot believe it happened. Making all these right skills in one dragon without replacing hero crit and without spending so many dragons is just such a hard thing to do. You gotta be like, I don't want to say unlucky, because I really destroyed so many dragons before. It's not like I didn't try. I spent a lot of Linari trying to do it. So if people want to do this, I see a lot of people started to attempt to make this green dragon after your video. Many people showed me the pictures, and like, is this a good dragon? Is it? And the thing that they have to be careful about, if you want to do this kind of dragons, you have to have a high draconic. If you're just gonna roll with one draconic, then what's the point, right? So I advise people not to just copy and get excited to do this, unless you can at least max almost three draconic, or don't do the, or just keep it without the damage skills. Add scales, add fortitude or something. But if you want to, do the exact same dragon, then at least have close to three draconics. That is something people need to think about, just, wasting their dragmas on.
Gotcha. So, if somebody wants to be like the hashtag Toby Nation, then they also need to carry through with the Dragonic. And with the with people sending you screenshots of their dragons, asking for help, and then you're seeing dragons similar to your own. Um, how was that to like log in one day and all of a sudden the Emerald Dragons are becoming more popular, or to see your fan base really embrace your ideas and want to do it themselves?
It's cool. It's cool. It's really cool. You know, you can see that you know people are whatever you're doing is reaching to people. That is always something, you know, whatever you do in your life, if people don't see it or you don't share it, then what's the point, right? Whatever something you do that it becomes successful for you, the funniest part of it is sharing it. At least for me, you know, whatever something successful I do in my life, the happiest moment is when I share it. So it's a good thing, but that's what I mean. People have to do things carefully, not just to copy things, and try to work on what fits you, what fits what you have, because some things, you know, works for others better than what for you, because you're missing on specific parts. Let's say artifact level or something, hero equipment, I don't know, something it whatever you do on your account, build on your account. Don't just copy other people. You have to build on what you have. And I think I mentioned this in the previous interview. Just work with what you have, maximize the best of what you have. That's the best advice I can. I attempted different dragons, by the way. I think I showed you. It is really interesting, this one. But I don't know. I still didn't fully test it. But the idea of it, I don't know if you want to share it or
Sure.
talk about it.
I'll pull it up right now. If you send it to me in PM, I can pull it right up.
I sent you a replay, I think 2 days ago or something, but I'm not in the game now. I don't want to log in because you know, I could do it later. I don't know. But the thing is, the idea, just in short words, the idea of the dragon that I made, it was Azure Dragon. I don't know if it works only on Azure, but I was like, you know, this is what I had. Okay, so what I did is instead of the uh, magic damage skills, which are the arcane, swell, and what was the last one? Spike or something? I forgot.
Yes.
Yeah, those instead of those three skills, I used the taunt and the physical stun and what was the third one?
I,
Basically, I
I
used all the
remember this
physical
now.
skills. Yeah, yeah. This one, it's hilarious, but it works actually. It works. I mean, I used it against Chip in Colosseum. It did good. I don't know. I need to test it in the tower. Maybe I think the tower is starting today or tomorrow. I'll start testing it. The idea is just physical damage instead of magic. And the reason I did this because with my equipment, the one I have for my heroes, I don't have a lot of magic stats, you know, and I'm way behind with honor. I'm not gonna keep farming all the equipments from now. You know, I'm just way behind with magic. No matter how much I try to increase the magic attribute, I'm just way behind. So that's why I completely forget about magic. I just focus on might, stamina, and command. And this idea came to me since I don't use magic. My troops don't do magic damage. The only magic, the only time I need the magic attribute is for the dragon to do the damage. So, and I don't know if even it fits the dragon, it affects the dragon not or not. So I was like, you know what? Let me just try all physical damage instead of magic damage. That's where the idea came, and it's hilarious when the dragon taunts, the whole troops hit him, and he don't die, and they got all disrupted, and it's crazy. I think this might come to the meta because the taunt of the dragon just messes up all the direction. Like imagine all the archers trying to kill a hero or kill something, and then the dragon taunts them. It just disrupt the game mechanics, and I like it. I think it just needs a little bit more testing, and I think it can work. That is something that I'm trying to bring to the table next. We'll see. And I was thinking also to bring a Ruby Dragon, but I don't have Dragmas, so it's gonna take time to try new projects of dragons. But I think Ruby can work, believe it or not. I think Ruby can work. I have an idea in my head. I think it can work because it has similar to the Onyx skills. It has conflagration or something, and instead of CC, it does damage and it does burning damage. So I don't know if you do all the right skills, maybe, and it has rampage, so maybe it can work. On paper, it seems like it can work, but it needs all the right skills again, and it's another project for another time.
And absolutely. And when you start a project like this, um, how do you engineer it? Do you start with like a problem that you find in the game, or do you just try and find some way to uh, kind of surprise your enemy? And then once you have that problem or that surprise or that goal that you want to achieve, how do you break it down? Where do you start? And any insight on how you mentally walk through achieving everything that you want to?
All right, so for I'm sure you heard, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So
Yes.
if something is working with you, then don't try to do anything. If it's working, just don't confuse yourself. It's already working, right? Especially on formations. If a formation works for you, don't play around with it. It's working. Why would you try something else, right? It's logic. So where to come to your to answer your question, where I come with the new ideas is where I have a problem. If you have a problem, then you start thinking how to fix this problem. Even with Sylph, I was having really hard time beating Sylph in the dual tower, and I kept I had specific formation for Sylph, specific formation for Lich, specific formation for human. And then until I reached a point, now I can beat Sylph. I know how to beat Sylph. It's just there is trial and error and trial until you fix the problem. If everything you're trying is still not helping, that's when you start to consider drastic changes, like a complete dragon, or something, something big that has to change. And for me, right now, everything is working. I don't need to change anything. If someone is beating me, he's probably way, way stronger than me. And that's the only reason he's beating me. Other than that, I'm having no problem. So right now, it's becoming just experiments, come up with the new ideas as you said, to surprise the enemy, or something like this. And at the end, it's just, it reached a point where I'm a kind of person that I like to create my own way. I don't like to follow, even in many other different games. Like I remember I played Hearthstone. I don't know, this is outside topic, but I played Hearthstone in the first season. I was playing it in beta, and in the first season, I became legend with Paladin. And at that, I don't know if people know this game, but at that time, if they played at that time, nobody used to play Paladin. And I made a Paladin deck by myself. I invented it, and I became legend in the first season with a deck that with a hero that nobody plays. And this is me. I like to create my own things. Yes, sometimes you need to learn from others. Sometimes you need to see what they are doing, maybe copy and build on it or something. But have your own touch. Otherwise, what's the point, right? What's the point of playing if you don't have your own touch in your account, right?
And absolutely, fully customize it. And uh, congratulations with Hearthstone. That's amazing. And it sounds like
That was a long time ago.
but it also sounds like setting up yourself and playing to your strengths, just like you were mentioning with the magic attribute. And you really don't use that many mages, but I think unless you said that, a lot of people might not have even realized that Toby has something that he can improve upon. But the customization in highlighting your strengths and making your strengths really work for you, I think that's everything in a game like this.
Very true. Yeah, very true. I actually, I don't use, as you said, I don't use mages. I don't use Avril. I don't use what's her name, the
The
fire
fire
mage.
one.
Yeah, I got the skin, and annoying because I don't use I don't use the hero, and at the same time the hero doesn't ride the mount. So I was like, okay, I'm definitely, you're not, it's a waste. It's complete waste. I started using her on sieging or something just to look at.
In speaking of mounts, I think I saw you with a new mount. Is that the how did you get your newest mount?
It's from the dual tower. First on the realm or the kingdom. You get it until the next season, like until the end of next season. So I think it's enough time to enjoy it. I was close to get. I'm not close actually. I was sure I can get the first on the Colosseum, but I passed it to Kurdistan because this guy, I have to mention this guy. This guy is probably the strongest PvP player at his power, and people maybe they don't know him as much as they know the others. But this guy is crazy good. I'm telling you. In the dual tower, we face so many times, and he usually beats me. And I have to give credit to him. I When I used to not run the turtle, I was struggling with the dual tower. So I asked him, "What the hell are you doing that you're doing so good in the dual tower?" And he showed me his formation. He using a turtle. So I adopted that from him, and I built my formation based on his formation, and I just started to change the positioning of heroes and replace some heroes, but it's mainly built upon his formation. I have to give credit to this guy. He is such a good PvP player. And those who are in our house, they know how strong he is. But the people, maybe, I don't know, other people, they don't know how strong he is. But this guy can beat uh, so much higher core power than him. And in my opinion, he is the strongest PvP player at his core power.
Which that's a huge compliment. And yes, for people at home, there's another member. Um, I totally batch him with the Chip Toby group. His name is Kurdistan. He goes by Kurd for short. It would be cool to do an interview with him. I don't know if he'd be interested, but it can definitely offer it. He is a wrecking ball. Very strong. Strong personality. Great guy to have on your team, and a really smart player. His I think I does he have a higher dragonic power than you, Toby, or are you guys like the same?
Almost the same. He has higher by a bit, I think by 10 points maybe or something.
Okay,
But we're almost identical. We're almost even when we fight, we it's just like we're like the same. He before he used to call me his sensei. I used to teach him and this, but then I started to ask him questions, and the guy is very competitive, and I respect him. I really respect this guy because when I was challenging for the first place in the duel tower, it was just between me and him. We were challenging each other, and I saw how much determination he has. This guy just doesn't give up. Like there was like he was down by like 100 points, and there was only 15 minutes left to the season, and he passed me, and I was like, "What the hell?" There was 2 minutes left. I was like, how do you have the guts to keep going? Like it's the guy just doesn't give up. And I was like, we started talking, in the chat. I was like, nothing personal. We both are competitive, but hey, I'm gonna try to get it from. And at the last 2 minutes, I played my last fight and I won it. And when the match ended, there was only 3 seconds left to the season. I don't know if the match was still going and the season ended, if it would have registered or not. So I assume it wouldn't, like the Colosseum. So basically, I got the first place by 3 seconds, and he made it hell for me to get the first place. And I was like, but he really deserved. The thing is, he is a fighter, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you have the Colosseum. Let's keep sharing. But hey, next time I'm gonna try to get this. But it's fun. It's fun. It's a friendly competition. Nothing, there is no grudges or anything. It's a friendly competition. We both are, hard workers. It's not like we don't deserve. And at the end, it's just a game to enjoy, have fun. But hey, I have to bring this guy to the scene. You know, I don't know why people don't know him. This guy is hilariously strong. People need to know more about him. He's really strong, and he also come up with his own things and stuff like this. And his dragon is amazing, like yours, identical to yours.
Yeah.
And yeah, every time I face him, it's just like headache to even if I beat him, it's not easy. Like I some other stronger players I beat them with an ease, but this guy, even though he's like a house member, he's just he's a nightmare for me, you know. And that's something good when I say it because usually players, you know, if someone that strong and it makes you, you know, it makes it's a good thing. It's a good thing, really. For me, it's a good thing, and I'm very happy to have him in our you know on our side. I don't want to have him as an enemy. Night.
No, I don't either because with his stubbornness, if he's mad at you, that's like the last person in the world I ever want to upset because uh, he is determined and I don't think he'll ever give up even on other realms when there were like serious whales, he still wanted to fight them and knowing
And
that
he
he was going
beat
to
them, man.
lose.
Some of them. He beats some of them. Remember, I don't want to mention names, but this guy beats like 2,000 higher core than him. It's crazy, man. This guy is so good. People need to know about him.
I agree, Toby. We're going to start a project, make the hashtag Herd Nation going, and on the screen we have the dual tower rankings for our realm, so you can see exactly who we're talking about. Kurdistan, he's got a little bit more honor. But yes, he is insane PvPer. We'll have to follow up with him and see if he'd be interested in something like this.
Yes, I think you need to highlight more of his fights. People deserve to see how strong he is, and he deserves to be, you know, recognized. And I know this interview is it's with me, but and we are talking a lot about him. But hey, it's only because I'm really emphasizing people need to know about this guy, and I think they can learn a lot from him. It's not just like me or Chip or OGC or no, there are so many good players, but people don't know about them, and these kind of players they need to, you know, people need to know about them. All right, so
Absolutely.
what else questions you have? I think maybe this is becoming a long video or something. I don't know. You tell me.
All right, so last last question. Um, but and thank you for your insight for your dragons and how to kind of come up with all of that. And I'll send Kurt a message today to see if we can get him in. But for hashtag Toby Nation and all of the Toby Nation fans out there, um, probably the most frequent question I get when it comes to Toby, besides how much money he spends on the game, but we're not asking that because it's none of our business. The second most popular question we get is, how come Toby doesn't make a YouTube video or a YouTube channel? So I have no idea. So why don't we ask Toby why he doesn't just do a YouTube channel and yeah.
All right, I'm gonna answer both questions because I have nothing to hide, nothing to fear. When it comes to financing in the game, I'm not gonna give a specific number because I personally don't know. But what I can say, a lot of money can be little to some, and little money can be a lot to others. So there is no such thing you spend a lot. It's all dependent on how much you have, right, or how much you gain. So for me, what I do is I have a fixed budget for the game that doesn't affect my life. Like as long as I do my saving, I do whatever I want to do in my life. You know, I don't go short on my personal life. As long as I keep that is the priority. Whatever extra I have, I put in the game. So I do the saving, I do the living, the life, the fun, the traveling, all of this, and the extra I put in the game. So for me, spending in the game doesn't affect me at all. Like it's not something I'm taking a loan or something. You know, it doesn't affect. So for me, that's why I don't feel bad when I spend on the game because I keep it reasonable, I keep it balanced. You know, I don't try to go short on other things in my life for the game. I never do that. The game is secondary at the end. and I have no problem spending on game because games are, brings you fun, and the gaming industry is a valid industry. It's not like gaming is not something you're supposed to do, even if you're grown up or young or whatever. Having fun is always not something bad to do. Have fun, whatever floats your boat, right? I don't like to go out or something. I like to play games, whatever floats your boat. So that's just summary of how I do the spending on my game. I'm not gonna say how much because I really don't know, but this is how the method I follow on spending. And when it comes to the YouTube, I really don't know how to make YouTube videos. It's not like I don't want to do. I just don't know how to do it. And I have a lot going on in my life. I'm building a career in my job. I don't want to. This sounds wrong, but actually, I'm working in an international company that is, it operates in like more than 80 countries in the world, and it's an international, multi-million dollar company. And I got 5 promotions in 5 years. So I'm really working hard on my career. It's not like something, I'm busy with my career. So I don't know. For me, if I do something, I have to. Got it. All right. So yeah, it's in the list of things to do. Maybe if I get like a long vacation or something. But first, I need to learn it. And for me, right now, it's not the right time to start something that I have to spend time on more because I'm already spending times on many different things, and I'm trying to balance everything. So I don't think it's the right time for me right now. And I'm happy that you are featuring me, and I'm grateful. I cannot thank you enough. And for me, that is working. For me, that is more than enough for me right now. And maybe if I have to do it myself, not now, another time. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, if you ever get bored or a long vacation and you want to learn how just for the sake of learning, I'll gladly show you what I know. I've figured out a couple shortcuts to make life way easier than how I first started it. When I first started, literally like way too much time, and now I've kind of figured out some ways to cut it down. So but thank you, Toby, for being here, being a part of Blood Moon, and moving and playing with us. And hopefully, it's been fun for you. It's been fun for me. And yeah, thank you for being here and sharing some of your insight with all of the community. And I'll message Kurt today, see if he'd be interested in something like this.
Hey, thanks for having me. I have to say, when you decided to quit and you got back, that made me so. And you are one of the main reasons that I enjoy this game. By the way, I have to highlight this because what you do is not like something you are forced to do. You're doing it, and it's such a great thing for the game itself. I think the game itself should reward you with something, because what you're doing is a lot of work. People don't understand how much work goes into these things, and not all of them, some of them. But really, it's a lot of things, and people should appreciate it, even if they don't. I don't know. Maybe they don't like Blood Moon, they don't like you, or something. I don't know. They should still appreciate what you are doing for the game itself. So that's something, I'm very thankful to have a member like you doing all this work for the game itself and for the house and the player.
Thank you very much, Toby. I miss you too. And I'm glad to be here as long as I can. Gotta keep balancing work, life, future video games, hobbies. It's tough to keep everything balanced, but as long as I can, I'll be around. And yeah, so with that, guys, please like, share, subscribe. Feel free in the comment sections below to blow it up with hashtag Toby Nation and also hashtag Kurd Nation. Let's show him some love so we can get him on here. Uh, Make sure to like, share, subscribe. There's a merch store in the description of all the videos. So if you guys want to get any cool swagger like phone cases, just because you want it. I think my mom is my biggest supporter, so go mom. In Also, there's Patreon, so if you guys want to further support the channel, there are things that you guys can do. There is also the OGC community chat. So like what Toby was saying earlier with there's a ton of really good, really smart, and really helpful people out there. There just are. The OGC community chat. I'll pull up my ID so you guys can send me a friend request. It's 295-34919, and I'll leave it on the screen for a second. I can add you into that. There are so many people there that will help you out. And also, if you're one of those people that you feel like you have a really good grasp on the game, it's a good place for you to go. And if you have extra 10, 15, 20 minutes, or you're just sieging down walls and you have some extra time to chat while you're sieging, feel free to pop in there and help people out. People remember it, and it's interesting to see how happy people get. I don't want to put out the names, but there's one person in our house, and they aren't necessarily like the strongest person, but they're just active in the chat helping people out. And then random people are messaging me, and they're like, hey, so and so has really helped me out, and they spend like a half hour going over my dragon with me. So thank you, and thank Blood Moon. And I'm like, well, send them a message that they're helping you. So there are people out there that will help you out. One of the hardest things can be asking for the help, even if it's in-game help, because nobody wants to seem like they don't know everything. But we're not going to learn unless we ask for help. And there's so many people out there that do want to help you. There's a bunch of different places. You can go to the official Discord. You can go to our Discord. The chat in game is just one more option. And I do apologize. Sometimes I totally derail it with memes or sports stuff because it's relevant, I guess. But the core of that whole chat, people will help you out. So with that, until next time, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you guys soon.